1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. I hope that y'all are well. And I need to send this out too, because this is going to be really good. I'm really excited about today's topic. Thank you, Lovey. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Today we're talking specifically about stop calling stuff in and start receiving. Because what a lot of women don't realize when it comes down to calling stuff in is that that's still doing. Receiving requires you to be, not necessarily to do, okay? So we're going to talk about that today. A lot of women have that very confused, and it keeps them in a chokehold, okay? So come on in, come on in. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Wonderful. Let me know where you are watching from, okay? I'm going to have to pause this real quick so I can put... Well, let me send this out first. And then I'm going to have to pause it a little bit because I need to bring this thing closer to me. I hope that y'all are well. Let me send this out. Happy Magnetic Monday. Today is going to be a really, really, really good topic. Because there's a lot of stuff going on, y'all. And people really kind of need to pay attention to how this thing works when it comes down to, you know, being and receiving, because women have the game so jacked up. Feeling like you have to do all this extra stuff is insane. You really don't have to do those things. And so we're really going to tap into that today. I want to make sure I'm sending this out to everyone that this needs to go to. No, what I mean is create a group. TikTok love taking. Thank you, sweetness. It is, girl, I got it right here. So it is Fat Oil by NYX. And it is in the color Living the Cream. It's super cute. Very, very subtle. It's super, super cute. So I like it a lot. When I just want to throw something on real quick, this is what I'm throwing on. Okay? So this conversation is going to be really good. Wait, I need to pause it because I really do need to bring this thing to me. Am I going to be okay? Hold on, y'all. 1 second, because I've got to... Perfect. That's better now. So come on in, come on in. For those who do not know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette, and I am an energetics and identity mentor, okay? And what I do specifically is that I mentor visionary women to dissolve invisible ceilings and embody emotional and energetic authority so that their leadership, their relationships, and their wealth reflect their true design. The reason why a lot of women are burnt out today, exhausted, all over the place, is because they are attracting these things and it's not in alignment with their authentic feminine design. For example, some women who are currently at 9 to 5s that make a whole lot of money, right? They're exhausted. They're stressed. They are all over the place. They are having health issues. Like, all of these different things are happening with them. All of that is because they don't really belong in those spaces. Sometimes we tend to sit in spaces too long. We sit in misalignment too long, and it literally throws us out of balance. So that's what's happening with a lot of women, okay? And so I support my clients. I've helped coaches. I've helped founders. I've helped feminine leaders. I've helped all of them dissolve literally invisible ceilings by restoring their nervous systems, clarifying their identities, and reclaiming their emotional and spiritual rhythm. You have to understand, in this new era that we've entered into, something I like to call the age of air. If you want to know more about that and what that looks like, you can click the link in the bio. And if you're a reader, you can read on my Substack where I break down all of it. Okay? I break down all of it. So when we think about the element air, right? We think about breath, we think about wind, we think about things like that, right? So when you're thinking about air and you're thinking about wind and you're thinking about things like that, you're thinking about things being exposed. You're thinking about things being out in the open. Well, this is where we are. We're in the age right now where things are out in the open, things are being exposed. And I know a lot of people think, oh, it's just, you know, celebrities and people have been talking about how, you know, we're in this age. No, it's not just for celebrities, it's for everybody. Everybody's going to get this work because, as you know, when it comes down to being open in the air, there's nowhere to hide. As you know, when it comes down to wind, the wind will blow back and blow up and expose everything. So we are in that space, and a lot of women are realizing in this space that the hustle has not served them. They are realizing that, no matter how much money they're making, it's not worth their peace and their sanity. They're realizing that a lot of the programming and different things that they were taught literally has put them in a state of bondage. And so those women come to work with me so they can get free. Okay, so a lot of my clients that come to work with me, they get one of three of the following results, or they get all three. I've had clients get all three. Number one, they make more money. Okay, they make more money because they don't have to hustle and they position themselves to receive. So it's not really anything, honestly, that they have to do more of. They just have to position themselves to be. So they end up making more money. The second thing that women tend to achieve when they come to work with me is they lose weight. I used to be 100 pounds heavier. Okay, so when they come to work with me, I've had clients to lose anywhere from 20 pounds all the way up to almost 80 pounds. All right. The third thing that women tend to get when they come to work with me is that they become a master of their emotions. And them becoming masters of their emotions is one of the most powerful things you can do as a woman. And so them doing that positions them to be able to receive the type of partnership, the type of friendship, the type of community that they have been craving. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever had a craving on the inside of you, and you, no matter what you do, it just never seems to hit? Women tend to really crave community. They crave being in partnerships, whether that is romantic or platonic, that really support them and serve where they are. And so the clients that come to work with me, they end up attracting these partnerships. I've had clients to, better their marriages. I've had clients to, turn around and attract fiancés. I've had clients to start attracting romantic partners that, that literally support them exactly where they are. So those are just a few of my results. And so bottom line, I support my clients in getting to the root of the issue so that they can get the results that they are looking for. And a lot of women, the reason why I'm doing today's topic, which is stop calling in, which is doing, to start receiving, which is being, because a lot of women really kind of have the manifestation game wrong. They have the idea of it very wrong. And so we're going to kind of break down these things because I want us to lift the imaginary veil that's over a lot of people's eyes about this process. And let's go ahead and get this out the way right now. You're always manifesting. Okay? You're always manifesting. Everything in your life right now is a manifestation of your actions, your thoughts, and a whole bunch of other things. But I'm going to get into that in just a moment, okay? But like I said, share this with an amazing, powerful, visionary woman, because this is going to be really, really powerful, because a lot of women are heavy into trying to manifest things, and that's all women are talking about, and this and this and that. And I kind of need women to wake up. Hi. I need women to kind of like wake up and realize that the power is in being, the power is not in doing. Okay? The power is in being, the power is not in doing. So we're going to get into it. Again, the title is Stop Calling In, Doing, and Start Receiving, Being. Okay? So the first thing I need you to understand is to kind of see the performance trap a little bit, okay? You don't need to call anything in. People are like, oh, I'm calling in abundance. I'm calling in my person. I'm calling in this. I'm calling in that. That is so unnecessary. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's very unnecessary. You do not need to call anything in. You simply need to get in position. Okay? I'll give you an example. And I always talk about this all the time. The perfect example of receiving or being in position is literally the catcher on the baseball team. Even if you don't watch baseball, everybody's understanding that the catcher catches, right? So let's dissect a little bit about the catcher and what that looks like. So the catcher is able to catch the ball because the catcher is in position to receive. Point blank, period, the end. Well, what does that look like, and what does that mean for the catcher to be in position to receive the ball, okay, which is the goal, right? The catcher has to be at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing with the right material, okay? The catcher has to be at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, okay? With the right material in order to catch the ball. Anything or any part of that that's off, the catcher is not going to be able to receive. This is what it looks like to be in alignment. To be in alignment is to be the catcher on the baseball field of your life. Okay? So, which means you need to be doing the right thing. Okay? At the right time, in the right place, with the right material. The reason why a lot of you are burnt out is because you're trying to do the right thing at the right place, okay? With the wrong material at the right time, okay? One of those are always, it's missing. This is what alignment really, really looks like. So again, you don't need to call things in. That's you trying to do something else. It's the equivalent to saying, I need to make more money. You don't need to make more money. You need to position yourself to receive more money. That is not the same thing. When you think I need more money and I need to make more money, you immediately start thinking about the second job, the additional stream of income, yada, 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 yada. That's not what you need to focus on. You need to focus on what you already have and how to position yourself to be able to receive whatever it is that you want. Because again, you don't need to call in. You need to be in position, because when you are truly aligned, okay, you don't need to summon a blessing. The blessing finds you. See, this is what they don't tell you when it comes down to you actually manifesting things. And that's just really the truth of it. When you are in position, okay, when you are truly aligned, you don't need to summon a blessing. The blessing literally finds you because you're in the right place to receive. A lot of you are not in the right place to receive, which is why you're not seeing the blessing. And blessing by definition means happy. Okay, so I want us to really, really get into it, because it's just a lot of extra work that a lot of people are telling you that you need to do spiritually that honestly is just really not necessary. I'm just going to keep it real with you. It's not. This live specifically, just to get this out the way for those of you who need to exit the room, this live is for the woman who's tired of doing everything right, praying, fasting, visualizing, and still feeling like the breakthrough just won't land. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What happens when I'm doing all the scripting, I'm doing all the things, and none of these things are working? Okay, so let's talk about it. I have mentored so many women who were spiritually gifted but extremely emotionally scattered. Okay, women who literally had influence, but they literally have no peace. And the moment, and I do mean the moment, that they stopped calling in and they started structuring overflow, everything began to literally shift towards them. Okay? I want you to realize this, and I want you to understand this the next time you want to call something in. Because here's the thing. You don't have to call something in that's yours. You just don't have to do that, okay? So the next time you want to call something in, I want you to remember that to call something in, to call in abundance, to call in a client, to call in this man, is spiritualized control. It's spiritualized control, and it's a lack of faith. It's a lack of trust. And it's really a lack of obedience, because the reality is if you get in position and you have the right material and you're doing the right thing at the right time, there's no way for you not to receive the blessing that literally has your name on it. But when you're out of order and you're trying to do the most, imagine the catcher on the baseball field trying to run to catch the ball somewhere else when the ball is clearly coming in one direction. You doing the most and getting the least. You're doing the most and getting the least when you are calling something in. Just because you call something in does not mean that you're going to get it. And just because you call something in, it doesn't mean that, oh, you're going about it, the best spiritual way possible. You're trying to control the outcome. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Spiritualized control, also known as calling something in, right, is rooted in urgency. Because let me tell y'all what's really going on. It's rooted in urgency. It's rooted in urgency, desire, and fear. But the desire is the desire with no action. You just want to call it in. I'm just going to speak it out into the universe. I'm just going to do this and I'm just going to receive it. That's not the way that this works. Receiving what is aligned and assigned to you is all about you being in the proper position. Point blank, period, the end. I don't care what they want to tell you. But I'm telling you, that's really the truth. Thank you, my love, for these likes, these gifts, and these comments. Calling it in, again, like I said, is spiritualized control. It's rooted in urgency. It's rooted in desire with no action. It's rooted in fear. It looks like doing more to feel worthy of more. Women do this in relationships. Women do this when it comes down to work. Women do this when it comes down even to family matters. A lot of women's position is, if I do more, if I do this, I'll get this result. I hear it all the time. If you go back and even watch all these Lifetime movies from when we were kids, the majority of them are like, oh, if I do this, then I'm going to get this type of result from my man. No matter what you do, and this is what I need people to understand. No matter what you do, people are always going to do what's best for them, which is why you should always be prioritizing self and making sure that you are doing what is best for you. A lot of women are missing the ball because they're too busy trying to control things from desire, from urgency, from fear, because you don't feel worthy enough. And if you don't believe me, then why won't you charge $10,000 for your service? I'll tell you why. Because you don't think or believe that anyone is going to pay you that. You don't believe that you have a service or a product or anything that is worth somebody paying you $10,000 for it, which is really crazy to me, considering the fact that it says in scripture that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being, according to Proverbs 8 and 12. So if you have creative and witty inventions in your very being, and it also tells you in Proverbs that your gifts will make room for you, what I'm trying to understand is, why do you feel like you need to do more instead of be more of yourself? I can tell you why you feel like that, because society has programmed you to do, so you can get, all while they sit back and be and allow you to do all that dirty work. That's what a lot of these corporations do. The tops sit heavy and they eat heavy because they're building on your backs and taxing on your souls to meet their goals. Hey, my love. And because of that, because you've fallen and submitted to this system, this is how they continue to get over on you. And you position yourself to, let me do more to see if I be appreciated. Next thing you know, you volunteering for projects at work. In 2025, why are you still volunteering to do extra work and like volunteering to do stuff at a 9 to 5 when they don't care about y'all? Why are you in 2025? Why are you volunteering to do all this extra stuff for men, right? That are not even interested in being with you for real romantically. They're just using you because you're available. I always tell y'all, the hardest working individual is not the one who's paid or rewarded the most. It is the one who is paid the least and valued the least. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. And y'all need to really understand it. So I don't care how much you call something in. A lot of you are calling things in from a space of desire with no action. Urgency, basically rooted in fear. And basically fear. And these things are not taking you to the next level. And it's really burning out your self-esteem because you feel like if you ain't doing nothing, you ain't worth nothing. And that's the part that keeps y'all in a chokehold. Because that ain't of the Most High. That's not of Scripture. But y'all swearing down your believers. There's nowhere in Scripture where the Most High said work yourself like a dog. The Most High did not tell you to be a footstool to other people. The Most High said your enemies will be your footstool, will become your footstool. But the way a lot of you will continue to live your life as footstools and allowing corporations and people and different things to step all over you is crazy work. It's insanity. Okay? It's insanity. This is the truth. When it comes down to receiving, because like I said, calling in is spiritualized control, rooted in desire with no action, urgency, which is rooted in lack, and then fear, which is also rooted in lack. You are scared of things because you don't feel like you have. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. And if you don't believe me, let's get into the fact of why are you so afraid of stepping out there in the fullness of your gifts, in the fullness of yourself in front of other people? I'll tell you why. Because of fear. Fear of what they're going to think about you. Fear about what they're going to say about you. Fear if people are even going to buy in. Just a whole bunch of fear. A whole bunch of fear. It absolutely makes no sense. People who are moved by urgency, I got to get this money by tomorrow. Lack. Urgency is rooted in lack. Fear is rooted in lack. Fear a lot of times comes from feeling like you're alone or you have no protection. When you are rooted in your spiritual identity, you are very clear that you are never alone. Start there. You are never alone because you're always protected. Good evening and good night. That's number one. Okay? And we tend to really miss that. We miss that because we are craving, a lot of us are craving the presence of people who don't even value us. Because the people who value you, you will never have to crave their presence because they don't mind being present with you. See, these are the things that we really, really need to start paying attention to. So if you're trying to do more to get people to do more for you, you're on a fast track to burnout. You're on a fast track to being prey. You're on a fast track to causing problems in your own life. Okay? So let's get into the receiving aspect because we talked about calling in. To receive means that you're in a consecrated posture. To receive means that you're rooted in trust, you're rooted in order, and you're rooted in rhythm. Okay? I don't worry, and this is just facts. I don't worry about how my bills are going to get paid every month. I don't. And it's not because, it's so much money. It's not even that. I don't worry about my bills being paid every single month because the Most High is going to supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory. And this is what I know to be factual because this has been my quality of life experience since I have been rooted in my identity. I have been doing business for 5 years strong, okay? I have not missed a bill. I have not missed anything like that. And I walked away from my government job at 35 years old. And said I was going to do this fully. And people thought I was nuts. People thought I was crazy. People thought I was losing my mind. But here's what I knew. I knew that the Most High had called me to do this work. And I knew that if I did anything else, I was not going to be fulfilled. I was going to struggle. And I was going to position myself to be sick. Because anytime you stay in misaligned spaces for too long, it begins to affect the way your body performs and your health. And I've talked about this before. At my last full-time job that I worked for state government. I worked in child protective services. And me working in that, the women who were in that space who had been at that job for more than 5 years had blood pressure issues, type 2 diabetes. They had developed autoimmune diseases, all of these different things from being in this environment. And they would probably tell you, I didn't have this until I started working here. But nobody had the gumption to literally walk away from the thing that was making them sick. See, that's how much we as a society, especially women, have become slaves to systems. You a slave to a system, but you rebel against your own system, which is crazy. You have an internal universe that literally has thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of ways that it is working, unbeknownst to you, until something you feels off within your body. You have 4 phases in your menstrual cycle: menstrual, follicular, ovulation, and luteal. When you work against those things, which society tells you to work against those things, you become sick. You become hormonally imbalanced. This is coming from someone who had a 21-year issue of blood. So you're not talking to someone who doesn't know. You're talking to someone who was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome when nobody was talking about it. Ask me, do I have it now? Nope. So the thing is, what women are not realizing is that when you stay in misaligned spaces, it throws you off hormonally. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care if it is a job experience. I don't care if it is a client. I don't care if it's your community. You should not be staying in misaligned spaces. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. Hey, lovey. You should not be staying in misaligned spaces because it's going to throw you off. A lot of y'all are sick because of the relationships that you are in, and a lot of you are sick because of the work that you choose to continue to do. Knowing doggone well that you're not supposed to be in that relationship, knowing doggone well you're not supposed to be doing that type of work, and that you are called for something more in both of those experiences, but no. due to your piss poor programming and due to your beliefs, because beliefs impact biology and biology influences the way you behave. You believe that's the best you can do. You believe that that is what you need to do to pay your bills. You believe that you're not going to meet anyone else like that, and you're so exhausted and burnout. You know why y'all are exhausted and burnout in relationships? I'm just going to keep it real with you. Because you spend too much time in the wrong ones. Huh? The reason why a lot of you are burnt out in your relationships is because you spend too much time in the wrong ones. Even your friendships. All she do is call me and be talking about how she be stressed out and all this stuff, and it's just so draining because you don't want to cut it off. Well, I want to be there. I want somebody to be there for me. Grow up. See, in this season that we're in right now, your connections are important. Your community is important. And having the wrong type of community and people around you can contaminate your life experience. You better understand what it says in scripture. Bad company corrupts good morals. Understand that. That's not a joke. It's not a gimmick. It's not a game. You better understand where it says walk with the wise if you want to be wise. But if you want to be a fool, go ahead and keep hanging out with them fools. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. It's not a joke and it's not a game. A lot of you are in chaotic experiences because you will not release. And you wonder why you won't receive. A woman who doesn't receive, I automatically know that she struggles to release. And I know that she doesn't reject. And I'm going to tell you something else, another connection that I realized when I was having this conversation with a really good friend of mine. Women should be able to release, receive, and reject. But what I noticed, women who struggle to release, like I said, they also can't receive because they won't release, okay? And they don't reject what comes their way, okay? Because they be so happy to just get anything. So if you're not releasing, receiving, and rejecting spiritually and energetically, thank you, my love, for these likes, these gifts, and these comments. I'm going to tell you something else that's happening in your body. It's not a coincidence that your body won't release. See, it's not a coincidence that your cycle won't come. It's not a coincidence that you can't go to the bathroom regularly like you're supposed to go to the bathroom regularly. It's not a coincidence that your body has gotten so comfortable with a toxic environment that it no longer rejects foods that literally do not belong. So you think it's a joke, you think it's a game. Who you are spiritually is who you manifest and become physically. I'm not even kidding around. Women get that so confused. You can't release, receive, and reject spiritually and energetically, but your body is paying the price of that, because what is happening in the spirit realm is going to always manifest in the physical. You are a spirit being having a human experience. And when you don't understand who you are spiritually, you have no choice but to disconnect from your core. Okay? From in your human experience. And when you disconnect from your core, this is how women start picking identities that don't belong to them. And when you pick the identity that doesn't belong to you and you ride that program all the way up until you become a CEO at a corporation, you're making so much money, and then you have a midlife crisis or a breakdown, people trying to figure out what's going on because you had it all together. See, no, you never did have it all together for real. Because you chose an identity that really wasn't in alignment with you, one that was programmed for you. See, this is what happens to a lot of adults who come to work with me, who have become doctors, who have become attorneys, who have become nurse practitioners, who have become the greats of the world. You understand? These women have become so great because it has been programmed in their heads since they were children. You're going to be an attorney. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. And then when they get up there and they have all this and they have a nervous breakdown and they say, I don't ever want to do this. I just want to bake cookies. Then everybody want to look at them like they're crazy. This is why you have to be very careful. Very careful trying to vicariously live through your children. Your children have their own assignment. Just because you ain't followed through on yours don't mean you get to pass it down to them, because that may not necessarily be for them. And then you want to look at them crazy when they're having a midlife crisis at 35, saying they hate their life. And you're like, how can you hate your life? You're a doctor, you have this, you have that. Aligned monetization only. Aligned monetization only. You are here to be on the path that is aligned for you to make money, because the money that you will make when you are on the aligned path is going to take care of everything that comes with you and your lineage when you are obedient. But see, when you try to assimilate and you try to take on a whole nother identity that doesn't work for you, you learn very quickly that the longer you wear a mask, the harder it is for you to breathe. Y'all remember all the masks we was wearing in 2020 and 2021? All the complaints about not being able to breathe and all this different stuff. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are out here doing. Wearing masks. Still. Because they're not walking the path that's for them because they feel like they need to do more. Again, receiving is about consecrated posture. You aren't to call things in. You're trying to do more. You simply have to literally be. Receiving is rooted in trust. Receiving is rooted in order. Receiving is rooted in rhythm. Okay? It looks like preparing and not performing. See, here's the thing. Performing is you feeling like, you going into an interview for a job because you're putting on your best self, right? So you're performing. This is what I can do, and I can do this, and da-da-da-da, and this, da-da-da. Right? You're doing all this performing. But what you're missing is that when you're in position to receive and you know this, all you got to do is prepare to catch it. All you got to do is prepare to catch it. You want a 6-figure business? Make sure 7-figure business. Make sure your systems are set up to be able to receive payments that are $10,000 so where you ain't got to chase nobody for an invoice. See, even when you ain't made $1 in your business, you make sure your systems are set up because when the overflow hits, the systems need to be sturdy in order for you to receive. And that's the biggest issue a lot of women have. You're not prepared. Y'all want marriage so bad. Y'all want a wedding so bad because a lot of y'all don't want marriage, truthfully. A lot of you don't want marriage because you don't really know what marriage is. You don't. And I'm gonna write a red letter about that because a lot of you really don't know what marriage is. A lot of you want a wedding. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you claim that you want marriage, but you're not prepared to be a wife. I don't think you understand what comes with that. I don't think you understand the intentionality, the responsibility, and the accountability that comes with being in a partnership such as marriage. I don't think a lot of women take in consideration outside of the babies being cute and them being babies for only 12 months, that there is intentionality, responsibility, and accountability that comes with motherhood, which is why a lot of us have opted out because we understand. You understand? And if a lot more women came into the space of understanding these things from a true perspective and not the program that you have been given, then you would make decisions that truly align with where you're going and with who you are. We have got to stop all this lying because it's not supporting you and it's not supporting anyone. And I say this all the time, women need to keep it real more so about marriage and motherhood. Women need to keep it real about the anxiety that comes behind raising a little person that never goes away from you, even when they become adults. You still have that feeling on the inside of you. Women need to talk about how when you give birth, your brain changes. Do you understand? Your whole anatomy shifts. But no, y'all getting caught up in the fact, oh my God, I got baby fever. You need to grow up and you need to really understand what goes into that. Children are only babies for 12 months. And you really need to see things for what they are. People not keeping it real and people not seeing things for what they are is the reason why you're manifesting, because you're already manifesting. So calling something in really don't mean nothing. Your life is a manifestation of the decisions and the choices and different things that you've made. So you don't need to call anything in. You need to prepare for it. Motherhood is something you prepare for. And even when you talk to mothers like this, not something that you can fully prepare for, but you can just at least do your best. You can at least do your best by laying a solid foundation. It's only right. It's only proper for your lineage. At least I would hope so. I would hope that you would want something amazing for your lineage. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. So calling it in and you want this and you want that, all that doing, you need to be preparing. Because all that is performing. That's all it is. Overflow does not need to be called in. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Overflow doesn't need to be called in, ladies. It needs to, I'm going to say this one more time. Overflow does not need to be called in. It needs somewhere to land. Is it going to land on solid ground is what you need to ask yourself. Are you solid ground or are you quicksand? A lot of women are quicksand. A lot of women are quicksand. A lot of women are quicksand. You don't hold true to your boundaries, quicksand. You fold as soon as somebody asks you for something and you should be saying no to it. You say yes, quicksand. Just because you blocked him that second and now he calling you right back, here you go folding like a lawn chair, quicksand. So overflow, like I said, is no need for it to be called in. It needs somewhere solid to land. And a lot of you are not solid. And this is where you need to be honest with yourself. You need to tell yourself the truth. Calling in, the whole manifesting, calling things in, you do understand that's the new hustle, right? That's the new hustle of how they get y'all. Write this down. Now, don't get me wrong. You're supposed to write it down and make it plain. Don't get it twisted. But they trick a lot of you into buying these scripting notebooks and doing this and doing that and da-da-da-da-da. Calling in is literally the new hustle. But let me put you on game. Receiving, though. Receiving, though, is ancient order. See, calling in stuff, again, that's a new hustle. And hustle by definition means to swindle. And to swindle means to steal. So I wonder what the hustle is stealing from you. These are the things you need to ask yourself. These are questions you need to be asking. You understand? Receiving, however, like I said, is ancient order. Calling in for what? Why are you calling in something that's already yours? Are you serious? Make it make sense. Seriously. The position is for you to be prepared to receive. That's it. All of the extra stuff is you trying to perform your way into a miracle. Ooh. Trying to perform your way into a miracle is crazy. It's really crazy. I really want you to really think about that. Receiving is ancient order. And if you don't believe me, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28:2. And here's the thing that you'll learn about me if this is your first time joining me. Everything I teach is rooted in scripture, backed up by science. You understand? And it's rooted in psychology. Thank you. I received that. All praises to the Most High. You got to understand that. And I always tell women, it's 3 things that you're going to need to thrive on this earth if you want to thrive well. Okay? Number 1, you're going to need to understand spiritual law. For me, that looks like scripture. I don't tell nobody what to choose. But what I can tell you is that I built my multi-6-figure business from scripture. What I can tell you is that I've supported my clients in going from little money to big money in a short period of time, literally using scripture backed up by science, backed up by psychology. Understanding spiritual law is how you create a new reality. And if you want to create a new reality and you want to be out of the matrix, there's no way you can do it without being spiritually sound. I'm just keeping it real with you. There's no way for you to be able to do it. So creating your own reality is understanding spiritual law. The second thing that's going to be very important in this experience if you want to thrive as a woman is understanding the science of yourself, starting with the 4 phases of your menstrual cycle, starting with your biology. The amount of women who will let people into their bodies without even understanding their own biology is insane. I'm going to say that again. The amount of women who are willing to allow anyone into their body without understanding their biology is insane. You have 4 phases in your menstrual cycle. Okay? You need to understand that your womb is a portal. You understand? So when you understand that your womb is a portal and a pathway, you start being real specific about what you put down there. You understand? So when you understand the science of your design as a woman, guess what happens? You begin to understand the science of the masculine because you are able to recognize the feminine versus the masculine. See, the reason why a lot of you lack understanding when it comes down to the masculine is because you don't understand the feminine. You don't need to decenter men. This is what y'all missing. Decentering men is centering men. Hello. Decentering men is centering men. The only thing you need to do is center yourself. And you center yourself by prioritizing yourself. And when you prioritize your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your financial health, your social health will elevate, will ascend. Your magnetism will go up by thousands. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of you are missing it because you're so focused on, I got to decenter men and do this. You still centering them. What are you talking about? That's why I don't even teach that crap. It's another gimmick. Another way to y'all understand it's another performance? Do you understand that? That's another performance that you're doing. I'm decentering men. I'm not doing this. I'm not dating. Just because you're not dating and you're not talking to men at the time does not mean that you are decentering men. To decenter or to center yourself would mean that you understand that you are the sun in your universe. And I explained this already, the positions in the last live. You can go check out on YouTube where I broke down how you are the main character. You are the sun in your universe. And all those different things for you to understand that you don't need to decenter men. You just need to decenter yourself. You just need to prioritize yourself. Okay? But again, like I said, calling in is the new hustle. Receiving is ancient order, and that's according to Deuteronomy 28:2, which basically states that, and all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yah thy Elohim. When you submit spiritually and you accept the fullness of who you are spiritually, that means you tap into the fullness of your identity. This means you tap into your godlike nature, your godlike character. Therefore, you are prepared to what? Have dominion. Bingo. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. Dominion looks like you having full authority over yourself and full authority over your environment. Do you understand? And also having full authority and dominion in your own lane, which means that you never have to compete with anyone. I always can tell a woman who is not connected to her core by the way that she competes with other women. Straight like that. Anytime I meet a woman and she is in competition with another woman, and most of the time women are in competition with each other for men. But a woman who is always in competition with another woman, whether it's what she has on, what she's doing, a man she's dating, that lets me know that that woman has no authority in her life because she's still comparing herself. Because if you were really clear on the fact that you have a godlike nature, godlike character, and dominion, you understand you have your own lane. So if I have my own lane, I don't even have time to look to the left and the right. See how I tell you in scripture, no need for you to sway to the left or the right. You're supposed to be focused on what you're doing, not worrying about what they're doing, not worrying about what's happening over here. See, that's what dominion looks like. I'm in my own lane. I don't care how many women get on this app and talk about feminine energy or femininity or talk about money or talk about energetics or talk about identity. Nobody is talking about it from a space that I am, because I'm designed to do this. I'm designed to do this. You understand? And because I'm designed to do this, I could give you the entire recipe, but if it doesn't have me, sweetheart, you are missing the secret sauce, and that's the way that you should be thinking. So why would I ever compare myself to another service provider? Why would I compare myself to another coach? Why would I compare myself to another mentor? None of those things are my business. I don't need to mimic what they got going on. I don't need to, do any of those things. Why? Because I have my own slice of the pie. I have my own part. You understand? So I don't need to do all of that. It's the equivalent when it comes down to women, because one of the first things that women do when they meet you, and they don't like this, they don't like to tell this truth, but women size you up. We size each other up when we meet each other, right? Women who have not risen above their core nature of manipulation, they size up other women because they're really insecure. So they're trying to see if you're prettier than her, if you're smarter than her. You're trying to figure out whatever leg up that you have on her because you are not secure in your own lane. I don't keep them types around me, babe. I don't keep them types around me. They're easily spottable. You easily can see them. Women who don't rise above their core nature usually are the most insecure women walking the planet. And a woman who is in that insecure will violate herself. And any woman who is willing to violate herself, you can guarantee that she will violate you. It's only a matter of time. Good evening and good night. Understand that. So if you violate yourself, and how do women anytime you say yes to something, you need to say no to. And a lot of y'all do it. Anytime you say yes to something that you need to say no to, lets me know that you will violate yourself. So if you will violate yourself, you'll violate me. Who am I? You don't even value you. Do you not understand that's how men look at you too? Ding, 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 ding. See, this is how you position yourself to get played. And then we like to turn around and blame the victim, be the victim, and blame it on men. Men pay attention to you when you allow yourself to be prey. Because here's the thing. Before you ever become prey to a man, you become prey to yourself. Let's get into it. I've never seen a victim who consistently is in victim scenarios that's never been a bully first. You are your biggest bully because you bully yourself. Because why don't you value yourself to not continue to be in these type of experiences? Especially considering the fact that the Most High literally tells you in scripture that you are to love your neighbor as you love yourself. But you think if you love your neighbor that they are going to turn around and magically give you some kind of love that you have been lacking all of your life. You are no different from the narcissist that you attract because you both are trying to outsource power. Get into it. See, the narcissist is a spirit that believes that it is powerless, which is why it uses other people as power sources. You understand what I'm saying? And what you are not realizing is that love is a major power source. And because love is a major power source that you should be fueling into yourself primarily first. And when you do not primarily fuel this power source into yourself, you will seek it from other people. So you are trying to outsource power, and the narcissist is trying to outsource power. And this is why you are a match. I know you probably thought you was better than them. I know you probably thought you were a really good person, but a good person would not be in a scenario like that consistently, because a good person is good to themselves first. Last time I checked, your body was a temple. A temple is a place of worship. A temple has a message. What message and signal are you singing? Ding, 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 ding. So let's go ahead and get into the next point, because I didn't went too far off. Okay. All right. So number one, the Most High does not delay blessings. Period. Ever. You can delay your own. The Most High withholds them from disorder, though. To whom much is given, much is required. He who is unstable in one way is truly unstable in a multitude of ways. You understand? Okay? So, what the old people say, God ain't gonna bless no mess. Point blank, period, the end. That was facts. Factual. The old people, you know what they talking about. I know y'all don't like the delivery. You don't like the delivery that they give you because it's not sweet, it's not sugary, and we live in a society that's extremely soft. Every generation becomes more and more tissue paper soft, truthfully. Because we are continuously training our youth to not be able to deal with life. And I don't understand it. Because pain is not something that you can avoid in this life. You do understand people leave here every day, right? So again, why are you not preparing them? Boom. Why are you not preparing them for the things that are consistent in this life? Loss is consistent in this life. You understand? Pain is consistent in this life. These things are going to happen. They are the inevitable. There is no way for you to put a wedge in between you and those things. The goal is when those things come to pass, you don't succumb to them. You don't shrink, because you have systems, you have support, and you have processes. You understand how to progress. See, when you get in business, people still gonna be dying. You still gonna get your heart broke. Something can happen. You gonna quit the business? It literally tells you in scripture to train up a child in the way they should go. Y'all are training them to be tissue paper soft. And then when they get out here in the world and they get ate up, you're trying to figure out why. You're trying to figure out why. We really need to shift this. I'm going to give you the four positions of receiving, because these are extremely important. Because like I said, a lot of you need to stop this calling in. I'm writing it down 20 times. Baby, write it. The scripture didn't say write it down 50 million times. It said write it down and make it plain. That's what it say. It says and it don't even tell you to write a bunch of stuff down that you want. It says write the vision down. Y'all be writing down stuff that y'all want. No vision. I want $10,000. What's the vision for that hot 10? What's the vision for that hot 10? Oh, it's gonna burn it's gonna burn in your pockets. It's gonna burn out your hand. There's no plan. Why would you get that? Keep writing it down if you like. I mean, hey, go off. But you're doing it for nothing. You're performing. And you're trying to spiritualize and control. You can't manipulate in the spirit realm, baby. The spirit realm is always going to reveal you to you. You understand? It's always going to reveal the truth about you too. People will know you by your fruit, baby. Hey, my love. That's it. Don't nobody care about the words. The only people who still getting caught up in words are people who literally are just blocking out the fact that you need to be paying attention to a person's fruit. People tell on themselves all the time. That's why I don't understand why people are always saying they're getting deceived for so long and this and this. There are always signs. Y'all don't watch the show Evil Lives here? You know, I be liking crime shows. Thank you, my love. I be liking crime shows, okay? All the SVUs, the Chicago PDs, the ID channel, all these. I be watching it. Not from a space of fear, but out of a space of understanding, especially the ID channel. I love watching Evil Lives here. Probably sounds crazy, but I really like it because I be want to understand what goes on and the different signs and different things that were present. You understand? Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes. Here's the thing. In the beginning of Evil Lives Here, it always says there were always signs. There are always signs. There are always signs. That's why I don't even want to hear women coming like, "Oh my God, he tricked me. He was this person for so long." What was the vision? See, when women start talking to me like that, my first question is, what was your vision for a relationship? What is your vision for marriage? Okay? Before you got into this experience, what was your vision for this? Okay? And the majority of the time, they don't have a vision. And without a vision, the people will perish. Every single time. You're gonna perish if you don't have an overall vision. If you don't have a plan for your money, the money gonna perish. Hello? Because it's gonna burn hot. It's gonna burn hot in your hand. It's gonna burn hot in your hand. You're not prepared. You're not prepared. And that's how you end up playing yourself and you end up becoming prey. So let's go ahead and get into these 4 positions of receiving, because like I said, calling in, I done told y'all, calling in is spiritualized control and receiving is consecrated posture, okay? Overflow does not need to be called in. It needs somewhere to land. Are you a safe place to land? That's what you need to be asking. I'm not even being funny. Are you a safe place to land? Is money safe to land with you? Is a lot of money safe to land with you based on your habits and what you do? Is a healthy marriage safe to land with you? How healthy is your relationship with yourself? See, we got to get into the truth of it. Don't nobody like the truth no more. I don't understand. It makes no sense. None. Okay? So let's get into these positions. Number 1, emotional capacity. You cannot hold what you panic around. You cannot hold what you panic around. If a lot of money makes you feel uncomfortable, then you ain't gonna be able to hold that. Okay? You cannot hold what you panic around. You'll sabotage the very thing you've been asking for. Women do it all the time. I see it done all the time. Emotional capacity is number 1. That's the number 1 position of receive. You want to know how to become the catcher of the blessings in your life? I've already explained to you that the catcher is the best position for me to explain what alignment looks like, being at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing with the right material. If you want to know what it's going to take for you to be able to receive so you can stop calling it in, okay? Then number 1, you need emotional capacity, because you cannot hold what you panic around. I don't care if it's a man, that's great. I don't care if it's a lot of money. I don't care if it's a position. I don't care. You're going to sabotage the very thing that you have been asking for because you are not ready. This is why I talk about when women ask for things and you're not an energetic match to receive that. Make it make sense. Number 2. The second thing that's going to be very, very important, or the second position of receiving, is energetic integrity. See, a lot of you try to manifest things from a self-centered, or a place that's honestly just not spiritually clean. It's not spiritually clean. Oh, I want to do this so this person can do this. No, you're trying to control. I hate when I hear things like, I want to manifest this specific person. I hate that. You know why I hate that? It's because you're trying to control the outcome. And when you're trying to control the outcome, this is not of the Most High. This is not of the Most High. It's not of God. When you're trying to control the outcome, that's a sign of lack of faith. That's a sign that you're doing something underhanded and you're working against the power of the Most High. To manipulate outcomes and things like that, those things are witchcraft, because you are edging God out due to your ego. EGO. Edging God out. I got that from Deepak Chopra like a couple of years ago. Very true. When you try to control the outcome, when you try to manipulate the outcome, you are now dwelling in spaces where you have no invitation. You are trying to snatch. And that's witchcraft. In order for you to try to manipulate the mental energy or spiritual energy of someone else without their invitation or agreement is a violation spiritually. And it is not of God. So I don't care how much you ask for, how much you write it down, how much you pray, you're not going to get it, because energetically you lack integrity. And let me tell you something. Most of y'all claim that y'all believers. Do you know you serve a God that literally is big on integrity? Do you understand that? Do you grasp that concept? because it's very important that you do so. Again, second position is energetic integrity. Power leaks literally delay destiny. If your energy or your aura is too exposed, okay, to carry the overflow safely, you in trouble. That's what happens when you lack integrity in an energetic space. You're trying to manifest things from a low down space, from an evil space, from a self-centered space. You cannot attract things, and so you cannot sustain things, okay, when you manifest them from an evil intent. And see, a lot of you don't think that you're manifesting things from an evil intent because you have this program that you're a good person. But if you were a good person, you'd be good to yourself, right? You'd be better to yourself, wouldn't you? Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. I'm just asking. If you really were such a good person. Good is very subjective. Especially in 2025. Okay? So number 2 is energetic integrity. You gotta have that in order for you to position properly. Number 3, spiritual structure is the third positioning when it comes down to receiving, okay? The Most High blesses order, not vibes. You cannot, how can I say this? You cannot spiritualize around disobedience or delay. You can't. I know you like to. I know so a bunch of women really like to do that. Like you try to spirit. Absolutely not. Oh, I'm just waiting on God. No, you're delaying because you're scared. And you too weak to tell the truth or to submit that aspect to the one that created you so that you can get the support you need. You just settle for saying that you waiting on God. Stop playing with the one that created everything for you get exposed. Didn't I tell y'all we in the age of air? Everything is open in the air. Everything is seen in the air. The wind is going to come and blow everything so everything can be revealed. Y'all cannot be out here playing. The veil is very thin right now with spiritual things. You understand? In the next couple of years, you're really going to see some stuff. So you might want to start working on your spiritual structure because you cannot spiritualize around disobedience or delay. We are in the season now. The Most High is not asking you twice to move and do what you need to do. Some of y'all gonna get that inkling or getting that inkling on the inside of you that's telling you that you need to move right now. You might need to move from the position you in. You might need to move from the state you in. You might need to move from the country you in. But because you won't move, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna delay due to your disobedience and your fear. This is not the time for you not to be moving on the things that you heard. The Most High is never going to bless vibes, only order. So that third positioning got to be your spiritual structure. What did I say? First things first, if women want to thrive on this earth, you have to, number 1, understand spiritual law so you can create your own reality. Number 2, understand the science of yourself so that you can understand the science of your complements. You understand? And number 3, studying the psychology of your generational history so that you do not repeat the patterns. That's how you're going to thrive in this earth. But if you ain't got no spiritual law, you automatically become a slave. You become a slave to these systems because you need something to submit to. When you don't understand the science of yourself, you begin to work against yourself and your womb stop working and start working against you. Ha. This coming from somebody who has been there. So it's not even a judgment. It's the truth. If you don't study the generational, the people that came before you when it comes down to your lineage, the psychology behind the moves and the different things that were made with the women in your family, you are destined to repeat that. I know you think you're so much better than that because you went to school. I know you think you're so much better than that because you went to therapy. I know you think you're so much better than your mama because you would never make those type of decisions. Girl, you better keep on living like my mama say. Hold tight. You keep living. Keep on living, sugar. You'll see. You'll see. See, when you get this elitist attitude about the women who have come before you, you end up being in a crazier scenario because the women that came before you, regardless of what you don't know what they sacrificed. And a lot of times they sacrificed a lot of themselves to be able to get you where you are. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you look at them with disgust and judgment? How dare you? You better hope and pray you get to that age and nobody's looking at you like that. You better pray. Because a lot of y'all done lost your minds with that. And that's for real. Number 4, the 4th position of receiving, which is going to be very, very important, it is called strategic design. Okay? Your wealth, your peace, and your power are tied to your divine design, not somebody else's formula. I'm going to tell you that again for the mimics and the copycats out here in these streets. Let me tell you something. You better stop. You better stop. The best thing you can do is become rooted in your identity so you have your own lane, so you do not feel the need to compete or compare yourself to anyone else. I'm going to say that again. The fourth position necessary in order for you to receive as a woman is going to be strategic design, because your wealth, your peace, and your power are tied to your divine design, not someone else's formula. When you copy, you compromise. Get into it. When you copy, you compromise. When you copy, you compromise. When you copy, you contain. You understand? You contaminate is what I meant to say. When you copy, you contaminate. That's what you do. And a lot of you are walking around here contaminated because you are trying to mimic and copy someone else, when that literally, none of those things work for you. This is why when a lot of you try to go take femininity advice from people and it doesn't necessarily work for you. Do you understand that you are feminine by design? You don't need anyone to teach you how to be feminine. You need people to bring you back home. That's what I'm here for. I don't teach women how to become more feminine, but my clients end up oozing all this feminine energy that just seems to support them in magnetizing the things that they want to themselves, and they truly get to sustain a life that they've manifested, which is absolutely amazing and beautiful. But it's because they don't compromise on their copy. It's because I lead them back home. Luke 17:21, the kingdom of heaven is within you. When I lead you back home, you remember that you are a queen. When I lead you back home to the kingdom, you remember your positioning. When I lead you back home, you stop settling for crumbs. Okay? Because it becomes uncomfortable when you understand who you are as a queen. Why would you dare eat crumbs or crow? Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, these comments. It wouldn't make sense, right? You are feminine by design. You don't need anyone to teach you how to be feminine, sweetheart. You need to come home, and you need to be in communities that bring you home. Thank you and good night. That's what we do over here. Okay? Again, when you copy, you compromise. You compromise yourself. You compromise your soul. You compromise your destiny. You compromise everything that you think that you want when you copy. Okay? So again, and I want to make this really clear before I go over these again. The blessing, the happiness, because blessing by definition means to be happy, right? It means happy. The blessing isn't blind to you or anything like that. It's looking for order so that it can land in your lap. Huh? How about that? The blessing isn't blind, baby. It ain't that the blessing don't see you. It ain't that happiness doesn't see you. Okay? Happiness is looking for order so it can land safely in your lap. You are not a safe space, sweetheart. Y'all be wanting people to come into messes. Please. Please. Stop. You don't need another ritual. You need rhythm. Okay? You need to be in tune with your authentic rhythm and your truth. Calling in clients while overgiving and undercharging is crazy. And that's what a lot of people out here doing. I'm writing, right? I'm gonna write down these names of these clients, and I'm gonna call them in, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Like, that's all I can say is, yeah, all right. That doesn't work, sweetheart. Again, you need to be in position to receive. That looks like emotional capacity. It looks like energetic integrity. That looks like spiritual structure. And it looks like strategic design. The blessing is looking for a stable, safe place to land. Calling in clients while overgiving and undercharging is nuts. Calling in love while entertaining what delays you is even crazier. Hello. How are you saying that you want this type of relationship, but this is what you are willing to entertain? Oh, c'est la. Make it make sense. Oh, it's so draining. And they don't realize that the draining, them being drained, is a warning. See, all these posts that women are making about, oh, my last relationship drained me. Nobody can drain you without yourself. Nobody can drain you. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Nobody can drain you without your permission, participation, or the fact that you simply are not paying attention. Because y'all love to be like, oh my God, he wasted my time. He ruined my energy. He threw off my focus and my attention. Here's the magic question. When women come to me with their foolishness, here's the magic question. How did this man get your time? How did he get access to your energy? How did he get access to your attention? How do people get access to that from you without your permission and participation? How? Did they trick you? Did they put a gun to your head to help you? To make you? Thank you, Lovey. I'm confused. I'm just asking. You have to grant access. Y'all be calling these men demons. Do you understand demons require access? They require permission. Do you notice that the devil has never, or a demon has never just jumped into a body without invitation? See, this is why I say when y'all out here doing stuff, trying to play mental games with spiritual consequences, you don't really know what you're doing. You're going to get yourself hurt. There has never been a time where a demonic presence has not entered into a space without permission, because they cannot do that. They need a host. Much like nobody can walk in your house without an invitation. You understand? It's the same thing. Y'all got people like, oh, this person just didn't know, baby. No. Nothing can jump on you without a point of access. Without a point of access. Somebody put in the comments, it was talking about sinners. Sinners is a good example of that. If you notice, every time something happened, they had to ask, will you invite me in? That wasn't just a gimmick in the movie. That's true tea. That's true tea. So a lot of people really miss that. They like to talk about demonic activity and all these things as if they don't come in without invitation. Yeah, no. Okay? So again, even calling in peace while being loyal to chaos. Y'all. All that calling in is doing nothing for you but draining you. I'm serious. Because you're doing all these things instead of simply being. Allowing yourself to really be. Okay? It makes a whole lot of sense. She says, let me see. I'm going to take this one question. I want y'all to hold the rest of them for me because I'm almost done. How do you feel about cord cutting for unwarranted energies from people of the past? To be honest with you, it's not necessary for an individual like me. And I'm not saying that as if I am someone else. To me, people do cord cutting as a visual representation of, solidifying or severing a tie. I don't need a cord to cut. All I need to do is make a decision. The decision is the cord cutting. You understand what I'm saying? The decision is the closure, and it cuts the cord. So I don't need to cut a cord, because once I make a decision based on the fruit presented to me, if I choose to cut it, then I choose to cut it based on the evidence that's presented to me. And I don't believe that anything can stay attached to you, okay, without your permission or participation. And what I mean by that is if you give it mental energy, if you're thinking about it consistently, if you are allowing it to obsess you, and to really boggle your mind to where you're overthinking about all of those things. See, unwanted energy, still, it has to have some form, right? There has to be some form of access. So though a person may not necessarily be talking to a person anymore, right? Or they may have cut communication, but internally that person still reigns when it comes down to your thinking, your thoughts, your heart space. You have to clear those things up. There is no cord for you to cut. There is a decision to be made based on the fruit, because we should be assessing everything based on the fruit, which is the evidence of the experience. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense. So I don't necessarily, for me, I don't feel the need to do it. To me, and this is just me, to me, it's a ritual. To me, it's doing something in order to get an outcome. I don't need to do anything. I just need to be real with myself that this experience doesn't serve me. It's setting me up for slavery, and I want out because I'm not a slave. And that is when I cut the cord. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't need a cord to cut physically. There's no shade to nobody who does that. I don't need to do that though. The spiritual scissors are enough. So, all right. So again, so let's go into one example that I have, right, with one of my clients who, she was struggling in the space of doing, right? She was really heavy in the space of doing everything. She was doing everything. She had been in business for maybe about 20 years. Thank you, my love, for these likes, these follows, and these comments. No problem. Thank you for asking a question, okay? Yes to the rituals will still have you in an energetic space, period. Because what are we doing instead of being? See, when you realize you ain't got to do, you could just be. You can be the fullness of yourself. And the fullness of myself does not accept an experience that does not serve or support me, because I am a walking experience that serves and supports what is aligned and assigned to me. And anything that throws that energetics off is automatically cut, baby. I don't need no cord. Good night. I don't need it. I ain't mad at no. I don't need it though. And my clients come over here and they realize they don't need it, baby. You don't need it. You don't need half of the stuff that these folks out here telling you to do, baby. You need to be in full alignment with who you are, baby. Because when you get into that power, you understand what all power looks like. You understand? And you won't settle for small power like that, because that's small. So again, one of my clients who was really struggling, right, to make the type of money that she really wanted to make. She had been in business for about 20 years. She had been doing home health, and she was excellent at what she does. So when we met, she was telling me, oh, I'm like, well, how much do you charge for these service, the service that you're offering? She was supporting other home health agencies, really supporting them. 4-hour session, she was charging $250. Immediately, my red flags was like, hold tight, babe. She was telling me how exhausted she was, how it was affecting her motherhood. It was affecting so many different things, And I was like, hold on, sweets. Hold on. The reason why this is draining you is because your price point is misaligned with the energetics that you're providing in these experiences. And because there's not a proper energetic exchange when it comes down to the value in this experience, you are the one getting the short end of the stick. Let me know how that feels to you to continue to get the short end of the stick. I don't want to do that anymore. Perfect. So I need us to walk through this experience so that I can support you in realigning your nervous system and activating your structure properly. Okay? We did this, and I told her, in 30 days, when you make your first 10,000, come back and see me, because it's not going to take you long. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I see, and I'm asking for your trust. If you invest your money with me, right? I want you to trust yourself in this experience, okay? And she did exactly that. 3 weeks later, she came back to me. She had already made $8,000. She told me she had to turn down another $6,000. She was about to be $14,000, but she had to turn down another $6,000 because the money was coming in so quick. I got a video, and I'm gonna post it one day. And she's saying, "Oh my God, it's real. It's real being able to," like she said, the Most High showed me how easy and how real it is for me to really, make this money by literally being an energetic match and being in position. So much so that I had to I had to shut my systems down for a second to prepare. See? But when you prepared, overflow got to have a safe place to land. See, that money start coming in so fast. She was like, whoa. I heard her, but dang. Okay? This is where preparation is extremely important. Making sure your systems are set up. Making sure that you have everything you need so that you can receive. Because overflow is literally always there. It's only waiting on order. It's waiting on you to literally get in order. And now that particular client literally started making she was doing like 250. She started making almost 5 figures every month. She was making anywhere between 8,600 to 9,200 back to back to back to back. You know what she told me? She said, I'm able to be a better mother. Thank you. I'm able to do the things that I need to do for my family. Thank you. See, it's not about the money when women come to work with me. It's about the freedom that you get. Because when you have money, you have options. It ain't about the money. You have options. And when you have options, that means that you can choose according to what is truly in alignment with you, what is on assignment with you. And these things are very, very, very important. She said, I always struggle with that. I put out what I charge. It was so draining not knowing my value. Girl, come see me, baby. Come see me, sweetie. That's the thing. Everything is around your energetics. The money is always there. It's very easy to be able to really, really make money. Which product or service do you offer where we can do a one-on-one and go over that? Currently, specifically preparing systems. So that is, I don't offer it anymore. But Faith, because you're already in one of my programs already, Faith is in the Sacred Feminine League. Faith has also gotten relationships and revenue, and Faith has also been so amazing with coming back to the Sacred Feminine League and talking about her experiences and the growth and the things that she's experienced since being in the program and since working with me all together, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you specifically that outline. Is 2 things that you can do. I don't offer it anymore, but I got you because you're already in my ecosystem. I'm going to send you 2 things via email by this evening, and you can choose from there which one will be the best for you, because we have options for you can do these things yourself or that my company can do it for you. So I'll send that to you, okay? Do you still do the Queens of the Throne course? I was just telling someone how much that helps me. It's in a vault. It's in a vault. But if someone wants it, do me a favor and DM me, and I'll send you the link for them to purchase it, and they'll get it. Okay? But back to my client real quick. When we were, her making an 8K in less than 3 weeks, it was no pushing, it was no pitching she had to do and do all of that. She just positioned herself. She just positioned herself to receive. Them folks start calling her. She said, I'm not even calling these people. These people calling me. It's another man want me to help him build his old agency. The people come looking for you when you are, the ball come looking for you when you to catch it in the right spot, okay? The ball gonna always find you when you in the right spot. That's it. Positioning, that's it, okay? True manifestation, okay, is law. It's not luck, all right? You don't need to learn how to manifest. Stop letting people tell you that. You're already manifesting. Manifestation is law. Whatever seeds you have sown with your thoughts, with your energy, with your attention, all these things. You don't need to do that. You're already doing it. The things in your life are things that you've manifested. What you need to do is position yourself to get in alignment to manifest the things that you really want. Okay? You don't have to do all these other things. And most importantly, instead of focusing on manifesting things, you need to focus on sustainability, which is what I teach. I teach you how to keep what you have, which has came into your life. Okay? If you desire to keep it. Most women can bring things and have things, but can't keep these things. And these things are very, very vital and very important. So you don't need to learn how to manifest. You're already doing it. Manifestation is law. Receiving is posture. Posture is a heart state, baby, much like kindness. See, nice is not a spiritual fruit for a reason, because it is a state of being that you can switch on and off, which is why I say I don't believe in nice, and most nice people are usually very nasty, because the minute that you don't get what you want, you say, I was just trying to be nice. Actually, you weren't. Actually, the root core of who you are is actually nasty, and you thought you were going to manipulate this situation or do something outside of yourself, hoping to get a result. And when you didn't get that, the truth of the energetics behind you showed up. So nah. Receiving is a heart posture, sweetheart. It's a positioning. Receiving starts within. And then you know how to align yourself externally, okay? So manifestation is law, receiving is posture, and alignment is your responsibility. And I break this down in my latest Substack article that I talked about, where I talked about manifestation specifically. Because I'm tired of y'all getting on these apps lying to people about this when they already doing it anyway, and they doing all this extra stuff and performing and getting mad at God. I'm tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all lying like that, because it's not fair. Everybody who gets on this app talking about spiritual things does not have ethics. I answer to the Most High. And I ain't finna get in trouble with the Most High trying to pimp you or tell you something that ain't real. Because I ain't finna deal with the spiritual consequences. The ones who know spiritual law don't play with spiritual law. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't play with it. We use it to create the reality we desire, but we don't play with it. And we don't play with people around it. Okay? So again, manifestation is law, receiving is posture, alignment is your responsibility. And I want you to really ask yourself by looking at your own life. What are you manifesting? Okay? Not from what you desire, but from what you tolerate. You were never meant to receive like her. Like her. You were designed to receive like you. Okay? And when you return to rhythm, clients find you, peace expands, love stabilizes, not because you're trying hard, because none of those things work, as you see, but because you're finally aligned, which is where the power lies. Okay? Favor does not fall on chaos. I need you to know that. Provision does not land on performance. I need you to understand that. It rests where there is order, where there is rhythm, and where there is reverence. Do you hear me? Okay? And I'm just going to tell you the truth. If you don't shift, you'll still be wise. You'll still be wise. You'll still be gifted. Even still be seen. You may be wise, you still be gifted, you may even be seen, but it'll be heavy. It'll be hard to carry. You'll build it and resent it. You'll attract it, but repel it. You'll touch a little bit of overflow, but you'll never be able to hold it because divine design does not reward spiritual performance. It rewards posture. So wherever you are in the space of your life currently, okay, drop your shoulders for a second. I'll come back and catch the question because I didn't see it. Drop your shoulders for a second. Unclench your jaw. Take a breath. Okay? And say quietly to yourself, I am the place where my blessings land. I am the place where my blessings land. Am I a safe space to receive? Tell yourself the truth. First it stings, then it heals. First it stings, then it solves the problem. Okay? There's a small window on this kind of alignment. Once your nervous system, okay, snaps back to survival, you'll reason yourself out of the blessing. You're here, but it's not random. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is your Kairos moment. This is your season moment right now. This is your invitation to literally stop performing and start preparing, because what's meant for you is moving, but it cannot land on disorder. All right? So if you're in a space where you are struggling with that, I have 3 things that can support you. Number 1, I have the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. If you're ready to stop leaking, striving, or surviving, and you don't really know where to begin, start with the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. It's not a manifestation course. It's a structure reset from top to bottom. Okay? For the women who are ready to literally receive without hustle, collapse, or confusion, what are you going to get in that bundle? You're going to get about 6 courses. Number 1, you're going to get Deconstruct and Refill Your Cup Masterclass. That's going to help you get rooted in your spiritual identity. That's the class that my client Delilah took, and literally within 24 hours, she got 9 clients. She got 5 clients in 24 hours. And in the next, I think it was 8 days after that, she ended up getting a total of 9 clients just by literally getting rooted in her spiritual identity. 24 hours later, she had 5 new clients. That's the first course that's in there. The second course that's in there is Wealth Alchemy. It teaches you how to train your nervous system and transmute that energy so that you can make money. The third class that you're going to get is Love in the Nervous System, because a lot of you like to allow men to distract you. And then the wrong type of men to distract you. And the Love in the Nervous System is going to help you deal with that attachment style. Because let me help y'all out. Order in the court on that. You're not supposed to have no kind of attachment style, because you're not supposed to be attached to anything of this world. You understand? Attachment means to have a force energy behind. So how do I become unattached? You stop forcing. How about that? And I teach you how to stop forcing. I teach you how to sharpen your discernment and love. Because if you are going to be out here dating, sweetheart, you need to know how to discern. And a lot of women don't know how to discern. So if you don't know how to discern, you need to go ahead and get the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint, because that is going to support you in that process. Do you understand? Because it is going to support you in not being conformed of the things of this world, not even the people, to be transformed by the daily renewing of your mind. It supports you in really doing that. I used to be extremely anxiously attached. I am now in a space where I am secure. I am not attached to the things of this world. It was a process. And I literally break that process down in that bundle. The fifth course that you're going to get, or the fourth course that you're going to get, is the power of your feminine design. A lot of you don't know the power of your design. You don't know the power of your essence. You don't know the magnetism that comes behind you. And baby, you are missing out on you. You wonder why people ignore you? You're missing out on you. So everybody else missing out on you too. Good night and good evening. Now that we have dealt with those 4 levels of self, let's get to the money. Because see, don't even talk about no money if you ain't dealt with yourself. Okay, so we didn't deal with them 4 spaces of ourselves. You ready to receive? Now I'm teaching you how to make the money. Number 1, get passively paid is the first course you're going to get after that. I'm going to teach you how to get this passive money. I'm going to teach you how to get this passive money. I'm going to teach you what you need to do to get this passive money. Because it's very easy for you to be able to do. But you have to package it properly. Which brings me to the last course, Intelligence to Income. I'm going to teach you how to close high deals and how to get high paying clients. Because by packaging your intelligence, that means there is no imposter syndrome, because it's your wisdom. These are the things that literally come within you, that all you have to do is tap into and allow them to make room for you. And I'm teaching you how to do that in that bundle. Okay? So if you are struggling in those spaces, the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint will support you in that. It's $200. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. That is your first option. If you are seeking community, okay? If you are seeking community, I have 2 options. The first option I have for you is the Sacred Feminine League, where I was just talking about faith is in, okay? The Sacred Feminine League is your center, okay? It is your home base. It is your return path. If you've been called to slow down, if you've been called to recalibrate so that you can really receive in a soft way, if you are ready to stop carrying power as if it's punishment, because a lot of you are afraid of your own gifts because you're concerned about what other people are going to say. Okay? Then the Sacred Feminine League is going to be your home base. It's going to be your true return to self. This is where clarity returns through stillness. And this is where you remember you don't have to perform to be worthy. And I give you all the tools you need to cut all those ties or those cords. Okay? Because a lot of the things that women have and women deal with and blocks are invisible ceilings. And I personally unravel invisible ceilings for a living. It is one of my strong points. Ask my clients. Okay? And if you want more information on that, you can click the link in the bio. It's $197 a month. You can get that one you can't get with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay, but you can cancel it anytime. It's $197 a month. You can come and get in. We have amazing women in there. Okay? I give a multitude of things to my clients. Even down when it comes down to investment tips. Things that I get and I have access to, I pass to my people. Because anything attached to my obedience is going to win. Not me, but my obedience. And as long as I'm in the frequency and rooted in obedience, my clients are always going to do well, because I'm always going to be able to advise them and give them insight from true wisdom. Okay? The last option is my 4-figure program, where I just had someone sign up for it, and I'm so excited. I have this program. It's amazing. It's called the Muse Activator, and the Muse Activator is literally an 8-week program, okay? It is a space where if you know that your nervous system or your entire nervous system honestly needs to be restructured emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, then the Muse Activator is going to be for you. 8 weeks, sacred identity work, regulated magnetism, aligned design. These are for the women who want to step into the fullness of embodiment. Because in order for you to be able to bring or to magnetize things into your space, you have to embody the frequency of truth. The universe is an algorithm created by the Most High. That algorithm responds to the embodiment of who you are through your thoughts, your energy, your actions, all of these things. You cannot fool the greatest algorithm of all time. That is the universe. That is what the universe's job is. The universe is on assignment. Okay? Is on assignment to collect. And it does not recognize any lies. It recognizes the full embodiment that you present in truth. Okay, so the Muse Activator, like I said, it's an 8-week program. It is $2,000. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. You can pay $500 to hold your spot. We are starting August the 31st because I am closing out my current cohort of the Muse Activator. Okay, they're going to be graduating in a few weeks, and I'm really excited about that. I have some amazing women in that cohort, and I'm going to be bringing in my next cohort, and after that, I only have one more cohort. Okay, of the Muse Activator. So if you want more information on the Muse Activator, you can click the link in the bio to read more about it. If you want to start in the form of, hey, I don't want to pay the full thing right now, right? But I can do my $500 deposit now, and I can split my payments up. Okay, absolutely. DM me the word start. Okay, so DM me the word start. Y'all, I'm gonna have to move for a second. Hold on one second. Yes. DM me the word start. Okay. And that way I can send you the link specifically for the Muse Activator, the deposit one. Because when you click the link in the bio, what you're going to see, because I'm looking now, what you're going to see is the one where it's going to give you a $2,000 price. So if you want to do the holding your spot, then go ahead and send me the word start. Okay. What questions do you guys have for me, if any? But my last thing before I get into questions is, y'all, stop calling it in. I'm just being for real. Stop calling it in and start becoming the structure that literally can sustain it. Okay? What questions do you guys have for me? I'm only gonna take a few questions. And then from there, I'm gonna check my DMs to see if I have anything in there. And yeah, you can click the link in the bio to get access to any of the products and services that I offer and I have. And then also click the link in the bio if you are a reader. Click the link in the bio to get access to my Substack. I have some paid subscribers on my Substack. Paid subscribers get the real tea. You're going to get some good juice. I have some paid subscribers on my Substack. Paid subscribers get the real tea. You're going to get some good juice. Good juice. When you come over there to the Red Knowledge Tree. But, okay, if you want the process of how, then you're going to have to become a paid subscriber. And there are options. You can get it for $22 a month. You can get it for $222 for the entire year. And if you really want to break down the science of seduction and some more things, then you will become a founding member for $250, where you get the seduction series, where I talk about how the fallen angels came here and seduced women with knowledge, which is why women are so seduced by knowledge but struggle to implement. Women love to be students and love to be schooled, but they never learn. But see, that's a trick. That's a seduction trick. Because women are very much so seduced by information, which is why women always want to go get degrees, but then struggle to implement these things. But I break that down in that seduction series. So if you become a founding member for $250, where you get all of the articles for a year, and with that $250, you also get a one-on-one session with me. Okay. So yeah, that's what you get. So I'm really, really excited, guys. I don't see, let me see, any other questions or any questions currently. So I am going to let y'all go. Okay. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing day. This was a really, really great live. Yes, this is going up on YouTube. I don't know how long it's going to be up there. So guess, let's just, let me know. She said, I guess it didn't let you do what, boo? Tell me what it didn't let you do. Was there a question or something that you asked and I missed? Oh, you asked a question? Do I eat meat? Why are you asking? I don't like, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like answering personal questions unless it don't really have much to do with what's going on. Tell me what this is regarding, so I can decide whether or not that's something I need to answer currently. You're welcome. All praise to the Most High. Let me go back and see if I can see your question. That's me. It's so bad. You have no idea. Truth be told, I'm extra, but it's God. I don't think I see your question, love. But drop it for me. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, I'll answer that. because I would like to know if you healed your PCOS while eating meat. So no, I didn't. I'm eating it now, but I wasn't eating it when I was healing it. And the main meat that I let go of was chicken, because that's the one that's the most detrimental. Even though most people are like, oh, beef, oh, this. No, the stuff that they're putting in chicken, the way that they're doing chickens, the way the chickens are being groomed, raised, all these different type of things are throwing women's bodies out of whack. But they don't want to let go of their barnyard. Their barnyard thing. They don't want to let it go. So yeah, definitely. Let me see. Tantric healing, do me a favor and inbox me your question, and that way I can just respond that way, because it's not showing me anything on here. Okay. And it's why girl, you gonna listen, I ain't for to comment on that, but yeah, it's true, babe. That's why they developing. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and go. I hope that y'all have an amazing day. Thank y'all so much for being on this live. Congratulations to the women who are going to be stepping into the next level by working with me in whatever capacity that we talked about. I'm really excited. And congratulations to the queen who signed up for the Muse Activator last night, where we will be starting on August the 31st. It is the same name that I had. Yes, it was about intimacy, laying with men and manifesting. I don't. So, and this is just me, I feel like you can only manifest healthy in a space while pleasing yourself. It's creative life force energy, and I understand that, but that gets a little tricky. So do me energy, and I understand that, but that gets a little tricky. So do me a favor, makes me very detailed, your exact question, and that way I can fully respond. Okay? All right. Okay, my loves. Y'all have an amazing day. I gotta go. Peace, y'all.